Welcome to the Michael Artsis Show. I'm Michael Artsis. Thanks so much for joining us on BeTerrific. I'm really charged up this week. I'm like super excited. I can't wait. We've got just a great lineup of guests this week, starting with today. And we've got really just a ton of great content for you, leading all the way up to a major extravaganza at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. We'll be there January 6th to 9th in Las Vegas. You're not going to want to miss that, and you can keep it locked here, wall-to-wall coverage, BeTerrific, or our app, app.beterrific.com, for all your continuing live CES coverage throughout CES. All right, I am so excited about what we're doing here and what we've got going on, and I had a great weekend with my son, Jack. We just had a lot of fun. We watched football together, really watched it for the first time. He was cheering. Although it was the Cowboys and the Eagles, he was cheering. I'm trying to tell him, listen, you can't root for those teams, but I'm glad you're into football now. He's watching, certainly captivated. All right, we got a lot to get to, but we've got a really great guest on via Skype. Damien Puckler, you know the guy from Grimm, you know him from all sorts of stuff, and he's got a new series called Starfall that's coming out that we're going to talk a lot about. Damien, thanks so much for joining us.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you, Michael.
Now, the first thing I want to get into is the fact that I don't know if a lot of people would know this, not only you're jacked, you're in really good shape, but you're also a martial arts expert and are a Muay Thai world champion.
Yeah, well, I mean, martial arts is pretty much the biggest passion in my life. It kind of got me away from a lot of troubles when I was younger, so the kind of cliche kind of story, let's not go into detail too much. But I started very young, and I just realized that that's something I can naturally just accelerate in, and I just started with karate, and then taekwondo and all the kind of traditional styles, and then went into kickboxing, Muay Thai, and all that kind of stuff, and it's helped me a lot, especially because I went from that into stunts, from stunts into doing more acting, and then I'm here now. So yeah.
You're Meisner on Grimm, and I want to know, does the Muay Thai and the martial arts and the discipline help you for acting in other ways? Not just the stunts, not just the fighting scenes, but mentally. Does it help you mentally prepare?
Absolutely, totally. I mean, the martial arts it's a fighting art, but a lot of people study it for the mental aspect too, and the meditation parts and everything. Especially in the traditional styles, you have a lot of meditations too. Having said that, even though in the kickboxing, in the Muay Thai, in the more fighting styles, you need to find you need to be able to access that meditation, the inner strength inside, to be able to go into a fight. So, like, for example, the acting, the most nerve-wracking things in acting are the auditions, or when the light goes on and they say action, and you have to be spot on. So you have to be able to kind of find that tunnel vision and to focus within those moments. And I definitely draw on the martial arts for that. Yeah.
I totally see that. I think that's great. And speaking of meditation, do you meditate? Last night, Anderson Cooper was on 60 Minutes talking about meditation, and he said that now it's changed his life just doing the story on it. I've always been interested in it, and I've heard really great things about it. I don't know. Do you do it?
Okay, this is the day with meditation. I have a lot of energy, and as a kid, I used to have a lot of temper, a big temper, and I have a lot of energy that flows everywhere. And an actual drama teacher once told me that you are amazing as I am amazing in the sense that I have so much energy, but she feels like it's the sun. It's like the sun with all this power, but it's going everywhere. She says I should be able to focus that like in a Death Star, like in Star Wars, the Death Star, with one beam coming out. And I always remembered that. And the meditation that I do is not the typical meditation where I sit down and try to, the Chinese kind of old style meditation.
Sure.
What I do is I try to focus by, I play chess a lot. I'm the worst chess player in the world, but I love the game. And I have no patience, but I force myself to play chess and try to find that patience. So that's my kind of meditation, because within that I can kind of tunnel vision myself onto the game, and I can use that again later for, like, I used to use it for fights, or I used to now use it for acting, for the scene or the moment or the audition. So I try to do that. It's a little different, but it works for me.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. I actually, I get it. I get getting into that zone and focusing and training your brain that way. I think that that's awesome. What about Grimm? It's such an interesting show. It's kind of like Fringe in my mind.
Yeah.
And I loved Fringe, and I just think, what's it like working on Grimm?
Well, first of all, working on Grimm was amazing because the people on Grimm are just so warm and so nice. I mean, I've done a lot of stuff before, and usually you get on sets, and the feeling of getting on another set, of somebody else's set, is the feeling you kind of feel cold, as in you feel like the outsider. You don't know if you fit in. You're a little nervous about everything. I remember the first time I showed up on Grimm. I mean, it's almost like they all started hugging me and liking me and welcomed me, and they were just like as though I was part of the show for years before. And the very first time I had to do a scene with Sasha Royce, who plays the captain in this, that was my first scene I had to do with another actor, where I had to interact, because the first scene I ever did was on the phone, but this time I had to interact with another actor, and he's one of the stars of the show. So again, you're kind of a little nervous. You don't know what to expect if you get on with that person. And I just remember walking to lunch, because we had to do lunch first, then we were going to shoot. And Sasha ran into me and he goes, "Oh, hey, you're Damien. You're right. I'm Sasha. Hey, let's go have lunch together." And we had lunch together, got to know each other, did the scene, and I've never felt more comfortable than that. I mean, it was amazing. The people are, every single one and person on that show is great.
Awesome, awesome. But what's really exciting, I think, is Starfall. So this is your new series. You're working on this. It's in the middle of a Kickstarter, and I think what is most attractive about this is the fact that it puts you a little bit in an entrepreneurial seat. It puts the audience into like a little bit of an entrepreneurial seat, and it really is inspiring. It's engaging. And I love the concept of the show on top of all that. Like, I love the idea of doing Kickstarter for it, and I love what you're doing, and then I love the concept of the show.
I absolutely, and I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I absolutely love the idea of the show. I love the Kickstarter stuff. I like the entrepreneurial word that you use there. To go back to martial arts again, I was always known as being the one that would push the limits a little bit, would push the boundaries, because everybody wanted to be very traditional, and I would always kind of push that away from that. Like, I was kind of doing some ballet moves during training, and people were like, "What is he doing?" But it actually gave me more control over the kicks, and later on, people kind of copied me on that, which is something that is kind of daring to do. But if you push it, then something exciting and new will happen. It's the same thing with Starfall. The whole Kickstarter things. More and more Kickstarter shows are coming up. It gives you so much creative freedom, and it gives you so much more opportunities and possibilities to do a show that can include scenarios that you otherwise would probably not put in a show that's just on general television. And I actually really like that, because I think there are shows out there, even on general television, that are pushing the envelope these days. All about being like the idealism of the world, ethics, and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's important that we do that, because we are going through a certain time in our lives where religion, ethics, idealism, all that kind of stuff is being challenged, and people think about it more than before. And I think it's time that we do kind of put that into TV shows too. And I think it's difficult to kind of do that when you don't have that creative freedom. Yes, it puts it kind of is a little nervous too, because you need the money. You need money to make a show. But if you create something special, which I think we are definitely doing with Starfall, I'm extremely excited about it. I can't even tell you how much. Then I think it's going to be great to see what's actually going to come out of it, because I think it's going to be a piece of art. It already is a piece of art, considering the people that are involved and what I've seen and what they've actually shown me that they can do.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that that's the key, is that what you're talking about is it gives you the creative freedom, and that's a lot of what we try to do here at BeTerrific, and what our vision is too, is to really be able to captivate an audience, and then be able to give them quality content over and over again, in different genres, in different scopes. And there's so much that doesn't get on TV. Yes, there are some shows that are taking risks these days, which is really awesome. And I think Fringe was one of them. I think,
Yeah.
and really examining ethics issues and stuff. But I will tell you that, I really think that for the most part, television is cookie cutter, especially with reality TV.
Well, yeah. I mean,
And if you don't fit that
you
mold
mean
when
fake reality TV? Is that what you said?
yeah, reality TV. But the thing is that when you go to these companies that are doing the production on those shows, or you go to the networks about them, if it doesn't fit in that cookie mold, then they don't want the show, or they try to fit it in that mold. And I think that makes uncreativity, and it really limits what we get as viewers and as fans. And so that's why I love this. It allows people to be as creative as they want, and the fans to decide if they want it or not. And then we can have all these great shows that people are putting together in their minds, or on paper, or even making pilots of, and they can see the light of day, and we can actually get new content that challenges us and pushes the limits and entertains us further. So I love that. Now, you play Captain Will Hunter in Starfall. Can you talk a little bit about, I don't want to give too much away, but I want to let you handle kind of that. Talk about the show and your character.
Well, first of all, what we were talking about before, I think the one thing I noticed about Starfall is when I showed up on set, and I hadn't met most of these people before, and I met him for the first time, is that I've never been on a film set, I've never been on a TV set, I've never been on anything that had so much passion just flowing through those veins and arteries of those people. I mean, every single person is 100% passionately behind this, and that shows in the stories of John Ellis, in everything in the show. It's all about passion, and everything comes from the gut. And that's what you were saying before. A lot of times shows, they kind of go, well, what fits in here? What can we do? Is this logical? Is this what people want to see? Starfall is, and I think that's why I love it so much, because I'm a very instinctive, passionate person. I sometimes maybe say too much, but I say what I believe and what I feel. I want to bring my point across, and I will do so. And Starfall does the same thing. It just goes with the passion and the gut. I think that's why the show is so amazing.
Yeah.
To go back,
No, I was just going to agree with you. That's all. I think that you couldn't. I couldn't have said it better. Dude, you're a tough dude. I don't want to mess with you, man.
No, but to go back to the actual storyline of Starfall, it's intriguing already. It intrigued me. That's why I jumped on board. It's set in a time just after the human race. The human race was going through a phase where aliens were using them as slaves. There was a long period of time where humans were slaves, and they were looked down upon as pretty much not worthy of anything. They were just worthy of being slaves and doing hard labor or whatever. Slavery has stopped just at the time when we start with Starfall. These human beings are trying to find themselves within that galaxy. They're trying to find who they really are. I mean, are they worthy? They don't even know. There's a lot of humans who don't have much self-belief. Also don't really know where they fit in. A lot of times, like sci-fi shows, the humans are the ones who have the intelligence, or they have the power and everything. In Starfall, it's a little different. The humans, we don't really know where we're at. And William Hunter is very interesting, because he is this really tough guy who is very intelligent, but had a really, really rough life. And he's lost pretty much everyone that meant something to him. And at the stage where he actually becomes captain of the Ardry Janet, just before that, he's actually ready to just quit, in the sense that he wants to maybe move to a solitary planet, live in a cabin, and never speak to any soul again. He's done with life and with the galaxies and with everything. But he's he's forced to take over the ship due to some circumstances, which you will see when you watch the show. And because he's a natural leader, he's thrown back into the seat of leading people, of taking charge, which he's good at, but he actually doesn't really want to do it. He doesn't care anymore. So in the beginning, he's very like, I don't care about these people. I don't care about this ship. I don't want to do this. But on the other hand, I'm going to do the best job I can possibly do. And they're taking over the ship, which is, it's not even a normal government ship. It's more like let's compare it to like a French Foreign Legion kind of kind of a group that are kind of forced to do all these special operations that nobody else wants to take charge of. Take charge. They're just being told to just do these things that nobody else wants to do, and it's definitely, it's very intense. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also very interesting, and I think that everybody, like you said, the passion, who everybody works on the project so passionately because they really want to be part of it. You don't join something like this if you're like, I don't know, maybe this will be good for my career. And I think so that makes everybody passionate about it, and that's awesome. But it's so intelligently written, and you can tell, and that's really what I like. And even the thought process, like what you're talking about and stuff. I mean, I think that we as humans take a long time to figure our lives out, right? And get our confidence, and we go through waves of that. I can't even imagine what it would be like if we had no self-worth, or if we were slaves as a population in general. And I also think what's interesting is it really draws parallels to different time periods in history, and I think it really reminds us that history really repeats itself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The fact that not only humans are on board of that ship, there's also different types of aliens on board that have their own problems. They have their own problems to deal with and to sort out while being on that ship. And the ship itself is not the greatest, most scientifically new advanced ship at all. It's more like an old tank trying to get through this and dealing with all that new technology. It's they just have to adapt and make it work, and they have to like pull together. Which at first it looks like I don't know if they're going to do that, but it's it's definitely what you said is very true. It brings back all these different historical issues.
So it's StarfallTheSeries.tv, StarfallTheSeries.tv. You guys got to go there. There's a Kickstarter right now. Check it out, find out about it, and contribute to the Kickstarter, because this is something you want to fund, you want to watch. It's going to be hours and hours, or months, years, whatever, of great entertainment. I say hours. I mean, 1 hour is one episode, and you keep going. So, or that's the way I think of it. So hours means 10 days or whatever. And I love how a lot of, like Netflix is distributing stuff and just putting it all out there now. And I love how we can, manipulate concepts of time shift like that. But StarfallTheSeries.tv, you got to go contribute right now. It's on Kickstarter. You'll find out. Just go to StarfallTheSeries.tv. Now, I've got Harry Constable, at Harry Constable. He writes in, you were in Scramble, and you played an awesome character who's seeking revenge on former playmate. Her name's Irina, and not in the show, but in real life. What was that like? What's it like working with playmates? That's what Harry Constable wants to know, at Harry Constable. And you can tweet in your questions at BeTerrific.tv.
I mean, working with playmates, what can I say? It's, hey, anybody's dream, right?
How was Irina to work with? Was she cool?
Irina is fantastic. I mean, it really, the sweetest person you could ever meet. It's incredible because, again, I got to say, I had to do my first ever full-on sex scene in Scramble with Irina, with a playmate.
Sounds terrible.
I got to be honest with you, I was a little nervous.
I bet you were. I
know, but she's the sweetest person on earth, and sex scenes are always kind of complicated anyway because they become very technical. So it's more about nerves and feeling comfortable in it and making it look good and
I'm sure making her feel comfortable as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you're a big dude. You're a good-looking guy. and you got a lot of ink. You're into ink, right? And some of your ink is really awesome, man. But I got to ask you, the one on your chest, you've got a tarantula. Does that scare the ladies off? That would be, to me, I mean, that would be the
Well, I'll
last
tell
thing
you
I.
what. The reason I have that tattoo is that I used to have a tarantula.
Yeah.
That her name was Tara. That was on my shoulder throughout the day and would actually just once in a blue moon walk like a parrot across my shoulders onto my other side. And people, a lot of people who knew me back then were scared of the spider, and a lot of people have spider, fears.
Yeah, arachnophobia.
I know, but once they got to know her and once they got to actually see her all the time, they kind of got used to it, and they started liking spiders and even said, "Can I touch her?" So the same thing with the spider tattoos. Like I always tell that story, and people go, "Oh, this is kind of cool, actually." And I always thought that it would scare more people than it does. People almost more intrigued by it. They go, "Wow, this looks cool. This is actually kind of amazing." Yeah, I've had a couple saying, "Oh my God, I don't know if I don't know if I could, have something to do with you because you have a spider on your chest," but
Yeah,
that
but
doesn't happen very often.
I mean, first of all, that's a shallow attitude. Second of all, and that's an awful. You probably are like, look, I don't want to have anything to do with you anyway. But the reality is, I would think it's a little freaky. But now that you explain it, it's kind of like, yeah. And women they're curious creatures. They really are. They are like intrigued by a lot of things you would think that they're not intrigued by. What about your other ink? You've got an amazing piece on your back.
That's actually, yeah, it's a sun, a fiery sun with an Aztec face that has it's kind of like a two face, one side is smiling, one side is grumpy, and it's the idea of yin and yang, the idea of good and bad, black and white. It's got alpha omega, it's got death and birth, and it's got a quote from Nietzsche, which says, "And if you look deep into the abyss looks deep into you." Which is one of those quotes that really got me when I was younger. Because again, when I was younger, I went through some hard and tough times, and it was the question of me either going and also turning dark and becoming, not a nice person, or trying to take the other side, the fork in the road, trying to take the other path, and trying to actually do exact opposite, and trying to really try to do something really worthwhile with my life. So, because that's what the quote kind of says. If you see a lot of bad around you and you keep looking at it and looking at it, it's very easy to get dragged into it and become bad yourself or become dark yourself. It's like the whole Star Wars thing,
Sure.
the dark side of the Force, and anything in all those shows and films and books. It's just that old cliche, but that quote really hit home to me, so I wanted to have that. Yeah.
Well, I actually like that, and I like the inspiration behind it, and the fact that you really look, you looked into the abyss, and you had a decision to make, and you made the right decision. Your story is certainly inspiring, and it's awesome, and you're a cool dude, man. You're welcome anytime on BeTerrific, and of course the Michael Artsis Show. We'd love to have you come on, and we'd love to have you talk more about Starfall in the future too. It's Starfall the series.tv. I know you've got to give a shout out to some fans before I let you go.
Yes, I just want to give a huge shout out to all my fans. Everybody who knows me knows this. Banzai power, my friends, banzai power. I love you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us, Damien Puckler. I can't wait to have you on again, talk more about all this stuff, talk more about, the new show and Starfall the series.tv. And of course, I can't wait to actually talk technical about some of these scenes too.
And we got to get you on in a cameo role.
Yes, I would love that.
Believe it.
I'm down.
It's
100%. Let's make it happen.
You bet.
Absolutely. I'm totally down. Damien, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Check out Starfall the series.tv. It's you're going to love it. I promise you. You will love it. Go check it out. We'll be back right after this with a whole lot more Michael Artsis Show right after this. Thanks for watching. Welcome back to the Michael Artsis Show. That was pretty awesome. Damien Puckler, really great guest. So happy to have him on. I love that offer he made at the end. I'm so honored about that. If he's serious, we're going to take him up on it. I am going to do a cameo role. That would be awesome. I think it'd be a lot of fun. What do you guys think? Hit us up at BeTerrific TV on Twitter. Don't forget to follow our Instagram, same thing. Facebook, same thing. And of course, you can watch all the archive stuff on BeTerrific.com, in our app at app.BeTerrific.com, And of course, you can also hit us up on, or you can also follow us on youtube.com/BeTerrificTV. All our stuff gets archived there. So anything you missed will be there. Now, this is the Michael Artsis Show. We do it live Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, and it's really, really awesome to have different guests on and all sorts of stuff. Tomorrow we've got another great guest, and the rest of the week some in-studio guests too, which we love, you guys love. Hit us up with questions at BeTerrificTV. Now, we're going to be at CES. Don't forget about that, January 6th to 9th. I know you got the holidays coming up. Just put this in your calendar. You're going to want to watch us. We'll have wall-to-wall coverage of CES, just like we did at Engadget Expand, just like we did at Comic-Con and Cinegear and all this other stuff. We're going to have great coverage for you, wall-to-wall coverage of CES. You're not going to want to miss it, right on BeTerrific.com. So it's BeTerrific.com, and we're really excited about that. I also talked to Mitch from Planet5D.com, and I think he's going to come on later this week with a much better internet connection to talk about what's hot for the holiday season in the DSLR world that doesn't have to do with cameras, accessories, stuff like that. So that's exciting. I have to tell you about Wowza. Wowza is an amazing live streaming server and service that is unbelievable. We use it. We stream to them. They can syndicate out to different CDNs, but they also have a new cloud service, cloud.wowza.com. The whole team there, Dave and Tim and everybody working behind the scenes, including Philip, they're all great guys. They all do a great job. You got to get with the Wowza cloud and the Wowza service if you want to do what we do, if you want to stream live. So check out wowza.com. And also, if you're going to have tailgate party for the family this year, if you're going to do a beach party, if you're going to have fun, or you have a company that needs to show off their product or do a trade show or convention, don't forget to check out Easy Up Shelters. Easy Up are absolutely the best shelters in the world. They are phenomenal. We love them. And we use them. They're our home base. They are the official shelter of BeTerrific, and the reason why is because they are so great. Don't forget, you can get your BeTerrific swag on BeTerrific.com/gear. That's BeTerrific.com/gear. All right. I wanted to tell you about Tokidoki. You know about them already. They send me some really cool clothes I wear on air all the time, especially at Comic-Con and some other venues. I love their stuff. So, I know you're looking for some last-minute holiday stuff, and I wanted to remind you that clothes are really cool for the holidays. So, I've got some Tokidoki stuff that I'm really excited about. I was supposed to wear this for Northeast Comic-Con, but unfortunately we didn't make it to Northeast Comic-Con, so I will be wearing it around. And I really love this design. This is one of their latest hats, super cool and awesome. Tokidoki, Tokidoki. Really fun stuff. I love underneath the rim. You've got some fun stuff happening. They really do a really great job. So check out Tokidoki. Just check them out. And of course, this is a really fun hat as well. I love how they embroider like the whole hat and stuff. And you could just have a lot of fun with this stuff. You look underneath. They do a great job. It's a first-class job. And then, of course, they've got these fun T-shirts as well. And I'll be wearing those under sports coats and all sorts of stuff because, unfortunately, I'm just not a T-shirt guy, but I love, look at that. That's like a tattooed T-shirt and some cool anime art. I love it. I'm going to wear that under sports coats. I'm going to wear it sometimes by itself, but never on air by itself because I just can't rock the T-shirt by itself. Look at this one. This one's super cool. Tokidoki. Look at that. How about that one? Pete, what do you think? Pretty cool? Would you rock some of these?
Of course I would.
It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. This, I think, is my favorite. This is my favorite. I love this one. Look at this. Does it get better than that? Just everything fun that you want. Tokidoki. TDDK. Love them. Gotta love Veronica over there. She's amazing. She's the one who hooks us up. But, sends us this stuff, and they take good care of us over there. We're happy to have them on board as part of the BeTerrific family, as you are too. You're part of the BeTerrific family. Look at this. This is a great one. I have the hat of this. I wore this during Comic-Con, and we're so happy to have them on board and be part of the family and send us stuff, but also, believe in what we're doing and be a sponsor and stuff. Look at this. This is awesome. Everybody loved this hat, and the shirt's super cool. So great holiday gifts for your friends, for your family, for yourself. Get it for yourself. Tokidoki, Tokidoki. And, of course, Veronica is awesome. We want to give her a shout-out. Hope she has a wonderful holiday season. She's good people. We like her a lot. She takes good care of us. You're the best, Veronica. Thank you so much. Pete, their stuff is cool, though, is it not?
Absolutely, it is.
I know that, these days you're only wearing the BeTerrific swag, which I love, and I wear it, too. I've got the knit hat and the baseball cap and the T-shirts, and I just love them, and I love the message they put out there. But this Tokidoki stuff is a lot of fun. I wear that, too.
Yeah, the graphics are amazing. I know a lot of people that like it.
Yeah. So that's the Tokidoki stuff, and it's really awesome. So check out Tokidoki for more. There's a lot of other cool things to talk about as well, and something interesting that I found out over the weekend about New Balance. They're making some new, more stable shoes, and we'll have that for you in the next few days. And what about Candlelighters, Pete? We went to the Candlelighters event, Candlelighters NYC, and they're an amazing organization that takes care of children suffering from cancer. And unfortunately, last week they lost one of their own, but they went on with their festivities. They took the kids and their families to Bloomingdale's. The moms got makeovers because, here's the thing, you don't realize how stressful cancer is on the whole family and what it does to the whole family. So it was a nice break, took this all off their minds. The siblings get to go. They get to all celebrate. So first they go to Bloomingdale's. They sit on Santa's lap. Mom gets a manicure, makeover, all that stuff. And they get presented with the Bloomies bear and Wowee Electro Kids. And they tell Santa what they want, and they do a photo thing with them, not a photo op for like us. We weren't even allowed there with our cameras. They do a photo op for the families. Like, they take photos and send the Bloomingdale's gives them, they charge for these always, but they give them the photo with Santa. And they went over to Venero's Bakery. God, that place is so good. Have you ever had stuff from there, Pete?
Yeah.
I took some home. It is unbelievable. And I've always said this. This is, to me, the best bakery in New York. Been there since 1894. But
the cannolis are amazing.
Holy cannoli. But seriously, I haven't been there in so long. I always say I'm going to go. People ask me, what's the best bakery? I always send them there. They always tell me, thank you. And then you always hear, this bakery is the best, that bakery is the best. Without a doubt, Venero's is the best. And I brought some home, and it was just such a big hit. It was really, it's really the best stuff. 1894 Venero. I don't even know if I pronounced the name right. They've got the cannolis, the Napoleons. They've got the menages or whatever. The lobster tails. How good are the lobster tails? Unbelievable stuff. I mean, this is a great place for the holidays. So they host the kids. Here's the best part. The kids get full presents. Tokidoki gave out some stuff. Wowee gave out more stuff. This is all done by this woman, Barbara. You're going to get the whole story, later in the week. We've got a whole piece on this. But the kids were making the cannolis themselves. How much fun is that? They got the shells and the cannoli, like the thing that the baker's like, hey, squeezing it in there at this Italian bakery, and he's doing it like that, like you make with the frosting and stuff. And they're making their own cannolis. It was unbelievable. It was so cool to see these kids have their hearts touched and to see them, their families and them have their lives changed, because really, I know it sounds so simple, but it takes them away from their troubles for just a minute. A lot of these kids were going back to get chemo treatments, to get other treatments, but yet for a few hours on a Saturday right before the holidays, they got to feel normal. They got to feel like everybody else, and they got treated like royalty. And I got to tip my hat to, both Bloomingdale's, but also Venero's. They just did such an amazing job. And that's all, of course, because of Barbara and the work she does. And you'll meet Barbara over the course of the video we show you during the week when we get it ready for you guys. But just an amazing organization. Candlelighters NYC. I think it's candlelightersnyc.com. Is that correct? I don't want to give out the wrong address. Pete, you don't know?
No, I don't.
I feel like it should be a .org or something, but it's an amazing organization. No, it is. It's candlelightersnyc.org. If you type in the .com, you'll get there. It'll just, forward you there. But it's candlelightersnyc.org. What an amazing organization. And I didn't get to see him because he was at Bloomingdale's and didn't come to Venero's. I don't know how he missed this, but maybe it's because he's got a newborn at home too. My good friend Anthony Causey, who shoots for the New York Post, one of the best sports photographers in the world, he was there, and he was doing they let him do photos at Bloomingdale's. Anthony's a great guy, and look, he's part of this great organization. So really, we're going to show you some really great stuff. It was just so heartwarming, was it not, Pete?
No, absolutely. Those kids, the family, the strain, the emotional, the financial. It's good to see them happy for a few hours.
I looked at this mom, right? There was this one mom there. She's a beautiful woman. And you sit there and you look at these kids and you think the whole family is just a picture-perfect family. Dad's a really good-looking young guy. And you sit there and you realize, wow, one of these kids at this table, and you don't even know who in this case. They're wearing a Tokidoki hat. You don't even know. They're all wearing the Tokidoki hats. One of these kids has cancer. It's life-threatening. There's so much stress on this family, and yet everything just seems so good in this moment. And you realize financially, people don't think about it financially, how much of a hardship it is and how much work the parents have to skip and to be there for their kids. And they're not going to not be there, but it's just so hard on the whole family. And it's just nice. It was really, really nice. So you'll get a chance to see some of that. If you want to donate, just start donating now. Candlelightersnyc.org, and we'll show you the piece, and you'll be able to, donate, after that. But you don't even have to wait. Just go to candlelightersnyc.org, and you can find out how to get involved and how to donate now. Just a great organization. And it's nice when you see stuff like that during the holidays. There are a lot of great organizations, but this one is one of the special ones. And, I've been around a lot of organizations like this over the years, and I'm really proud of what these guys do. And everybody's 100% of volunteers. So I like organizations like that. It's really cool. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Yeah. So we're going to take a quick break, come back with a whole lot more show right after this. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for joining us. And don't forget to tweet at BeTerrificTV. I'm Michael Artsis. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Michael Artsis Show. I'm Michael Artsis. Thanks so much for joining us. I am super excited about all we have going on. We've got the global toy expert coming on later in the week to talk last-minute toys and the state of the toy industry. We've got Gene Fugit, former Washington Redskin and Dallas Cowboy, coming on. He's a lawyer and entrepreneur now, and so much great stuff from him. He was one of the first free agents in the NFL. I think he was the first to make $1 million, and how his free agency move from the Cowboys to the Redskins changed the NFL forever is such an interesting story. So we'll get him on to talk about that. We've got all sorts of great stuff going on here. We've got CES coming up. Don't forget about that, January 6th to 9th, and that's going to be exciting. And I'm just excited for the holidays. And as I told you, just keep smiling, keep thinking about positive things, and keep being uplifted. The holidays can be a really lonely time if you're alone or if life is a little difficult, but just power through it. Really, just keep a stiff upper lip. Things change, they turn around, and if things are great, then just keep smiling and keep those legs moving either way. Because if you stop the legs moving, the good times will stop, and if you stop the legs moving, the hard times won't end. So, I found it very interesting that the hard times are happening for a guy named LeBron James, who made an interesting move going back to Cleveland in the offseason, and now is really struggling, and everybody's saying he's over the hill. And I just really find the talk of LeBron James being over the hill, first of all, premature. Second of all, unfounded. Third of all, come on. Why are we so quick to judge a guy like this immediately when teams have a bad season, players have a bad season. People go through things. We don't know what he's going through in his personal life. We don't know what he's going through physically with his body. He doesn't have to be over the hill to have something ailing him. And also, he's in a new style of play with a new coach and a new team. We're so quick to knock people down, especially in the media. Even, these Sony emails that are going around, it's like so weird. And I feel dirty when I read about it. But on the other hand, I'm glad there are whistleblowers, but what are we whistleblowing? And this hack thing, and I don't know, it's just enough. So much negativity. It's just, I don't know. Pete, what do you think of this LeBron thing? We're so quick to knock people down.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. He's what, mid-30s? How old is he? I don't even know.
He's early 30s.
Early
He's
30s?
not mid-30s. He's like 34. He's not even, he can't be. He's not. Look, let me look him up. Hold on. There's no way. He's like 32.
He might just need some rest.
You know, that's the other thing. He's put a lot of mileage on those tires and a lot of minutes into those games. You know, he is definitely a guy who's soaked up minutes. And you're talking in high school, he played hard too. He is. Come on. Come on. We're talking about a guy we're calling over the hill. The media is calling this guy over the hill. Are you kidding me? He's not even 30. He is 29 years old, born December 30th, 1984. He will be 30 in just a few days. Come on.
Wow.
No.
It seems like he's been around for so long.
This guy's not washed up. He's not over the hill. He's got a lot of mileage on the tires. So what? Maybe he needs some new tires, but that's all. This guy just got into Cleveland. He's got a lot going on. You realize, like, he's got to move his family back to Cleveland. Has got to get his kids settled, his wife, the whole deal. On top of it, he's got everybody pulling for him this way, that way.
Was he on the USA team for the?
You know, that's a good question. I don't think he was. I don't know. I don't think he was, though. But it didn't not Dwight Howard, but who got hurt on the USA team?
Right, really bad too.
Yeah,
From
yeah.
the Pacers, right?
No, it was the Pacers too. Oh, that was really bad. But didn't? Oh no. It was right. So the Pacers, George got hurt, right? But then who was the guy? Kevin Durant said, "I'm out," and now he's hurt, and he's crediting that to the wear and tear, even just for practicing with Team USA.
Yeah, but he's back now.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what he was saying early on. No, I think that it's a much harder game to play. They're trying to change their bodies constantly, change their workout routines. You're playing with different players that you're not used to. Some are young, Kyrie Irving, you know, and some guys don't want to take a back seat to LeBron. And, you know, Kevin Love is still an unproven guy. He had a great college career, and when he was with the Timberwolves by himself, it was like, hey, this is the guy, but...
Remember we did the story way back when Kevin Love was just coming into the league?
Yes.
The rookie party and everything?
Yes. He is a nice guy, you know. He's a really nice guy. And but who knows how good a basketball player is or he's not. He's not been proven.
Kevin Love is pretty good.
Yeah, okay, so maybe they're just not gelling as a team. I don't know. Maybe the coaching isn't good. Look, and for LeBron's point, he does commercials, he does all sorts of stuff, and everybody, especially back in Cleveland, everybody's pulling him at him in every direction. You know, and sometimes teams just struggle. It's just, you know, we always search for an answer. Sometimes things just are down because they're down, you know. Sometimes there is no answer. Sometimes you have the right players and the right system and the right people in place, and it just doesn't click. You know what I'm saying, Pete?
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, we were all over Tom Brady. Remember? The media, not us.
A couple of weeks ago.
Now it's the second coming of Tom Brady. But we're literally like, is Tom Brady done? What's Belichick going to do? Are they grooming his successor? Not us, the media. I mean, everybody was willing to throw this guy away. We don't even want to forget about a second chance. We don't even want to let a guy go down a little bit. It's like, I think it's this 24-hour news cycle. It drives me nuts, though. Does that drive you nuts? Every 2 seconds we're evaluating everything?
Yeah, well, you know, it's all about ratings. The person who gets the story in first, and
well, I'll tell you one thing. There is no way LeBron James is over the hill. He's got a lot more basketball left in him. I will tell you this. I said Tiger Woods, you remember this years ago. I said Tiger Woods on air, it's documented, would not come back. He would not be the Tiger Woods he was. Everybody thought I was crazy. Sometimes you can just tell. And in that case, I thought the Tiger had it. But in this case, come on. There's not even any reason why you would say this about LeBron. So LeBron's a good person. He gives back to charity. And you know what? I might think he's an egomaniac on the court. I mean, he says some of the silliest things. But it doesn't matter. He's not over the hill. He's got a lot more basketball left in him. And part of that is him being a showman and hyping. So, you know, stay tuned. You're going to want to watch that. Maybe one day we'll have to get LeBron on. We'll have to figure out how to do that. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying. Whole lot more show tomorrow and throughout the rest of the week. It's really, really exciting what we've got going on. And don't forget CES. CES Live on BeTerrific.com, January 6th to 9th, all day long. Keep it locked in. I'm Michael Artsis. For everyone here at BeTerrific, I got to thank Damien Puckler for coming on, and of course, his awesome new show. It is unbelievable. Pete, put up that site again. I just don't remember the whole URL, so you know, you put it up. Everybody can check it out, and we will see you tomorrow with a whole lot more show. Don't forget to go to BeTerrific.com/gear to check out the BeTerrific swag. Don't forget, you got to get Tokidoki. Tokidoki, great holiday gift. Tokidoki. And We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. On behalf of everybody here, I'm Michael Artsis. Be terrific.